Welcome everybody. This is Hannah with Yogi Me. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday at 9 a.m. Hello. Looks like my sister's on. How's it going? So you can grab just water and a mat and you're good to go. Hi Leah. I have a little bit of a nicer setup here. I've got a tripod and lighting, so excited about that. Hopefully you can see, I think you can see my whole mat this time, so that's good. We'll just get started here in just a minute or two. It's okay if you don't have a mat, you can just use your rug. That'll work too. Hi. How do I turn these comments off? Just kidding. All right, 6 o'clock, we're ready to go. So we'll just get started in a comfortable seated position. So just cross-legged will work fine. Maybe just rock a little bit side to side. Make sure your sit bones have a nice connection with the mat. And sit up nice and tall. Your hands can come to your thighs or to your knees. And bring the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Maybe tuck in your chin slightly so that your neck is in line with your spine. And once you've got a nice, comfortable seat, we'll just take a few moments here to breathe, to check in with our body. We do this at the beginning of every yoga class. And start to bring your attention and bring your awareness to your breath. And maybe start to deepen your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Really suck the air down low, deep in your lungs. Allow your rib cage and your belly to expand and contract. Breathing deeply is not something we normally do. So when we start to deep breathe like this, it kind of drowns out other thoughts, other focuses. Allows you to focus on the present, on what's happening now in your body. And I ask you to keep that awareness as we move through the class today. Always listening to your body, always checking in, and asking your body if this pose is okay. Ask your body if you can go deeper, if you should back off. I'm just here to provide suggestions. And as you continue to deep breathe down to the very bottom of your lungs, we'll add some movement here. So on your next deep inhale, circle your arms up overhead and bring your palms to touch. And then exhale as you bring your hands back out to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Let your palms touch, and exhale, your hands back out to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale as you twist to the right. So bring your left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, wring out your lungs. Right hand to left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. And one more time, exhale, twist to the left. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale as you walk your hands out in front of you. Untuck your toes, or uncross your ankles. Bring your toes together. Your knees wide, maybe as wide as your mat. And continue to walk your hands out in front of you, coming into child's pose. So take a few breaths here, still staying with your breath. Breathing the air down low, deep in your lungs. Reach your fingertips forward. Pull your tailbone back towards your heels. Really lengthen your spine. Really spread your fingers wide and press your fingers into the mat. And then when you're ready, tuck your toes underneath, lift your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. So you scoop your tailbone up towards the ceiling. You can keep a bend in your knees. Really lengthen your spine. Press the mat away with all 10 fingers. And find a pose here that works for you. So maybe you keep those knees bent. Maybe you let your ankles, your heels fall to the mat. Maybe you spread your feet wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Maybe you spread your hands wide for a little extra stability. What felt good yesterday might not be right for your body today. So really take a chance to find the pose for you today. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. And then when you're ready, find some stillness in this pose. And then look forward, bend your knees, and take a couple baby steps to the front of your mat. And dangle here, fold forward. Let your head and your neck hang. Maybe grab opposite elbows to let the extra weight pull you down towards the floor. Your knees can be bent to any degree. start to rock a little bit side to side. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway with a flat back, maybe look up. And then exhale as you plant your hands down on the mat, step your feet back into plank. And lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. And then bend your knees, drop your knees down on the mat, and come into your tabletop pose. So your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, your hips are right above your knees. And then inhale as you drop your belly down towards the floor, scoop your tailbone up, shine your heart forward for cow pose. And then exhale as you round your spine, look towards your navel. Pull your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale back to cow pose. Drop your belly down, shine your heart forward. Exhale, round your spine. Cat pose. Create space in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, cow. And then continue this at your own pace, following your breath. So inhaling, opening your chest, and exhaling as you close and round your spine. And then when you're ready, come back to neutral spine. Turn your palms so that your fingers point away from each other. Wrists still underneath your shoulders, and then just rock gently side to side. And then flip your palms so that your fingers face towards you. If this is too much, you can walk your knees in. If you would like a little bit more, you can lean back. And then when you're ready, flip your palms so that your palms face up and your fingers point towards each other. And really press into the mat with all 10 fingers, pressing the fingernails into the mat. See if you can keep your elbows straight, but it's okay if you can't. And then bend or close your hands, make fists. Feeling a stretch on the back side of your wrists. And then open your hands, press your fingernails into the mat. And then make fists. And then open, and then flip your palms back to your normal tabletop. And step your feet back so that you come to your plank. And then lift your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. And then look forward, bend your knees, take a step or a hop to the front of the mat, and lift up halfway with a flat back. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees as you reach up, stand up. Bring your palms together up overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale as you plant your hands, step back into plank. And then chaturanga, so lower all the way down to the floor with control. So bending from the elbows. Coming down to your belly, untuck your toes. And then straighten your arms just until your body tells you to stop, keeping your thighs down on the mat. Coming into our cobra pose. Shining your heart forward. And then bring your chin back to the floor, tuck your toes underneath, press up to plank, and then lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here, keep them nice and deep. And then reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And step your right foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. So your right knee is bent on the ball of your left foot. Reaching up towards the ceiling, but keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. And you can look up here. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back. And lift up to crescent lunge. Left knee bent this time. Right leg is straight. Hips and shoulders squared forward. Look up and inhale. And exhale as you frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into plank. And chaturanga lower to the floor. Inhale to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale as you tuck your toes. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. And then step your left foot up in between your hands. Lift up to your crescent lunge. So left knee is bent on the ball of your right foot. Hips and shoulders squared forward. And look up as you reach up. Inhale. And exhale, frame your left foot. Step your right foot up to meet your left and inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale as you fold forward. Step your left foot back. And lift your arms towards the ceiling, crescent lunge. Look up as you inhale, and exhale as you frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to plank, and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale as you come to your downward facing dog. Scoop your tailbone up. And we're here for 2 more deep breaths. And then reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Step your right foot up in between your hands, lift up, crescent lunge. Inhale, look up. Exhale, frame your right foot, step your left foot up. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees and reach up, stand up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back and lift up, crescent lunge. Look up and inhale. Exhale as you frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into plank and chaturanga. Lower to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then take 5 breaths here. And reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot up in between your hands. And lift up, crescent lunge. Look up and inhale. Exhale as you frame your left foot. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale as you reach up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your left foot back and lift up, crescent lunge. Inhale as you look up and reach up. Exhale, frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Scoop your tailbone up. Use all 10 fingers to press the mat away. And reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And step your right foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Pull your fingers up towards the ceiling as you let your shoulders come away from your ears. And this time start to hinge forward and reach forward. And then see if you can drop your right shoulder to your right knee. Still reaching forward. Lengthening that spine. And then see if you can bring your arms out to the side like airplane wings as you rest your right shoulder down on your right knee. So it's okay if it doesn't get there, but as long as you're lengthening your spine, reaching your arms out, shooting the energy out your fingertips and out the crown of your head. And then use your core as you keep your arms out like airplane wings. Lift your chest up. And then reach your arms up back to your crescent lunge. And then bring your left heel to the mat. So the outside edge of your left foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Bring your arms out to a T, warrior two. Gaze over your right middle finger. Sink those hips down low. And then drop your left hand to your left thigh. Reach your right palm up towards the ceiling. And bring that right arm up overhead. Reverse warrior. Bring your right fingertips away from your right knee. And then use your core as you come back to warrior two. Straighten your right knee. Turn your right toes in so that your feet are parallel with one another. And then bring your hands to your hips as you fold forward. So bringing the crown of your head down towards the floor. And then you can release your hands down to the mat in front of your face. Or you can walk your hands out towards your feet, maybe grab onto your toes or your ankles. And find a sweet stretch here. And then if they're not already, bring your hands to the floor in front of your face. And then start to walk your hands back, behind you, seeing how far you can walk your hands back. Always asking your body if this is okay. Always checking in, never pushing too far. And then start to walk your hands back so that they're in front of your face. And then bring your hands to your hips as you lift up halfway. Bring your elbows in towards each other, and then with a flat back, come back to standing. Turn your right toes so that they're facing the front of the room or the front of your mat. Rebend your right knee. Come back to your warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to plank. And we'll bring it through a flow. So chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. And step your left foot up in between your hands. Coming back to your crescent lunge. Hips and shoulders squared forward. Reach your fingertips up and your shoulders down towards away from your ears. And then start to reach forward, leaning forward. And then see if you can bring your left shoulder to your left knee. Still reaching forward as far as you can. And then bring your arms out to your sides like airplane wings as you again try to reach your left shoulder down to your left knee. See if you can lift those arms a little bit higher. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen your arms. Keep your right knee straight. And then use your core, keeping your arms out like airplane wings. Lift back up. And reach your arms up, crescent lunge. Spin your right heel down to the mat. Open up to a T, warrior two. Sink your hips down low. Drop your shoulders down, gaze over your left middle finger. And then drop your right hand to your right thigh. Flip your left palm up and reach your arm up overhead to reverse your warrior. Pull your left hand away from your left knee. And then use your core, lift back up, warrior two. Straighten your left knee. Turn your left toes in so that your feet are parallel with one another. Bring your hands back behind you. Pull your fingers down towards the floor. Open up your chest. Open up your collarbones. And then fold forward to your own personal degree. And see if you can reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Bringing the crown of your head towards the floor. And then release your hands, bring your hands down to your feet. Grab onto your big toes, or your ankles, or your calves. You can even have your knees bent here if that's more comfortable. But if it feels okay to you, you can use your strong arms to pull your chest forward. Bring the crown of your head towards the floor. And then slide your hands up to your hips. Bring your elbows in towards each other and lift up halfway with a flat back. And then lift back all the way up to standing. Turn your left toes towards the front of your mat. Bend your left knee, bring your arms out to a T, back to your warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into plank and bring it through a flow. Chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then bend your knees, drop your knees down to the mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back. And reach forward for your child's pose. And then start to walk your hands forward. until your hips are right above your knees. Bring your knees in so that they're about hips distance. And then let your chest and your heart melt forward down towards the floor. Maybe bring your forehead or your chin to the mat. And then lift your chest up, walk your hands back to your tabletop position. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back towards your feet until you're in your forward fold. And then bend your knees, round your spine, and slowly come all the way up to standing. Letting your head come last. And once you've reached standing, roll your shoulders back a few times. And we'll come into a balancing posture, our tree pose. So bring your hands to heart center. Bring your feet about hips distance apart, about 2/5 apart. And then bring your weight into your right foot, all 4 corners of your right foot. Bring your left knee out as you lift your left heel. And you can kickstand your left heel here, or you can bring it to the inside of your calf or the inside of your right thigh. Always thinking about bringing your left knee out as you press your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. And once you feel stable here, you can start to grow your branches however you would like to. You can reach up, you can bring your palms together. You can come into cactus arms. If you would like a little bit more of a challenge, you can look up. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to heart center, step your left foot down. Take a couple baby chairs. And then bring the weight into your left foot. Root down into your left foot. Peel your right heel up off the mat, turn your right knee out. You can kickstand here, or bring your foot to your calf or to your inner thigh. Pressing your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. And once you're stable, you can start to grow your branches. It can be different from the other side, or it can be the same. Yogi's choice. Again, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can look up, or you can even close your eyes. And then when you're ready, bring your hands back to heart center. Drop your right foot down to meet your left. Take a couple baby chairs. And then walk your feet wider than hips distance. Sink your hips back and bend your knees into your yogi squat. So drop your hips down as low as they will allow you to. You can bring your hands to heart center Maybe press your elbows into your knees and press your knees into your elbows. And then come to sitting all the way down with your feet spread wide as comfortable. And as you inhale, sit up nice and tall, reach up, and exhale as you fold forward down through the center. Your hands can reach forward, or they can grab for your feet or your ankles or your calves. Whatever feels best for you. And then when you're ready, roll up to seated. Bring the soles of your feet together. And bring your heels in as close to you as comfortable. Think about pulling your knees down. You can grab your feet with your hands. And then start to fold forward. And then start to roll back up to seated. And keeping the soles of your feet together, see if you can roll all the way down to your back. Just resting here for a moment. And then bring your knees together, hug your knees in towards your chest. And slide your hands down to grab the outsides of your feet. Bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And spread your knees wide enough so that your torso could possibly fit in between your knees. Gently guide your feet and your knees down towards your armpits. And see if you can keep your sacrum, your low back, connected with the mat as you're doing this. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest one more time. Give yourself a nice tight hug. And then let your legs extend as we set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So let your feet flop open, your hands can come to your sides, palms facing up. And then starting with the crown of your head, scan your body as you start to release any extra tension, scanning all the way down to the very bottoms of your feet. So start to release your temples, release the space in between your eyebrows, release your jaw. Release your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Release your shoulders. Release your arms, your hands. Release your chest, your belly, your hips, your legs and your feet. Let your entire body feel heavy and supported by the ground. And let everything you did soak in for a moment here. And start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to roll your wrists and your ankles. Take a big stretch overhead, stretching from your fingertips to your toes. And then however you want to get there, we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Just how we started class. Bring the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin in. And then on your next deep inhale, scoop your arms up overhead. Bring your palms to touch. And then exhale as you bring your thumbs to heart center. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. The light and love in me honors and acknowledges the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. I'll see you next time.